You're listening to Hotep. You're listening to Hotep-ish with your host, Dwann B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk. Y'all know me. I like to bring the profound with the profane, but today we getting profound. I'm not gonna talk too much crap. We're gonna get in to hypnotherapy. Is it right for you? And to answer your questions and to break through all the mystery, we're not here to argue. We're not here to say what's better than that. We're just here to get a perspective. And so, yes, we are here. Remember, I have my seminar coming up. I said seminar like I'm old or some shit. I have my webinar coming up on my book, No Time to Waste. You enroll in the webinar, you get the book for free along with additional course materials, homework assignments, and follow-up. Because, hey, at the end of the day, we don't have no time to waste when it comes to being our best selves. So that's why I wrote the book. Off my personal experience. Y'all remember to go to hotepish.com/apparel where we have the t-shirts. Dr. John Henry Clark, Van Sertima, Welsing, Fuller, and Ben Yakinen. Most people wear athletes on their back. Get the professors. I say professors. Damn, I can't talk today. Get the professionals and the professors that put something in your head and wear them on your chest with pride. I got my t-shirt that's very popular right now and very necessary for today's times. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. Dr. John Henry Clark. And Dr. Martin Luther King, I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning house. Get your t-shirts now along with your coffee cups. Look at it right here. You see this? No, this isn't alcohol. This is water, people. Yes, get yours. But I would like to introduce and welcome my special guest. She's a world-renowned hypnotherapist, someone who's helped a lot of people, including your boy. She's someone that, I was referred to by King Simon. Y'all know King Simon. He was great. Salute to King Simon for referring me to her. She's dope at what she does, so I wanted to bring her on. With no further wait time or ado, as they say sometimes, welcome to my guest, Kendell Cobb. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Dwann. I am great today. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I really thank you for coming on to the show. I appreciate it.
Well, I thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you. What's up, y'all, in the chat room? Big Los, Dominique Griffin, Kenneth Berry, thank y'all for joining. Thank you, Jonathan, Kate Green, all y'all. Have your questions ready, because I know my purpose for having this broadcast today is, one thing that I like to do, I like to, my show is all about solutions. I talk history and all that stuff. I talk all that stuff, but at the end of the day, the whole purpose for talking history and talking about things that go on in society is to have solutions. And and what we do here at Hotepish is we talk about some of the current topics going on, current things going on, and we talk about, how can we solve this? And so within the solution, there are things, there are systems, there are programs out there that help us along that path of solving our problems, because you solve society's problems by solving your own. And I think that hypnotherapy is a dope solution tool for people to use when it comes to solving their internal problems or whatnot. I would like to welcome you again, Kendall. Can you tell the people, first of all, your background, how long you've been doing this, and just what your perspective on what you do as a hypnotherapist?
Whoa, that's a broad question. Okay.
It's very broad.
I have been a hypnotherapist for 24 years. I have absolutely and positively done my 10,000 hours, no doubt. Mm-hmm. As a hypnotherapist, up until just very recently, all of my clients, except maybe 2 handfuls, have been Caucasian. Mm. We have not been interested in seeing me or exploring hypnotherapy up until recently. And I don't know if it's just the stress of COVID, if it's because now Black celebrities now say, therapy's good, get some. I don't know what it is, but I'm grateful for it. I've been pining to finally work with my own people. So this is a very exciting time for me. And I help people with a gazillion different things. There's no one thing. Often people come to me for one thing. They go through my questionnaire, which is what I use in order to figure out your customized session. And they think, oh yeah, let me tick that off and get some of that too. Mm-hmm. And, like things that you don't really think of. So it's been really exciting. And I'm just really happy right now just to be able to be working with my own people for a change.
And you say you work, you haven't been working with your own people. That's because you're based out of Canada, right?
I am, but we have Black people here. We're here.
Yeah, but how many?
Lots.
Oh yeah.
And especially, I'm in Toronto. Lots. Vancouver, south of you, not so much.
Okay.
But Calgary, Quebec. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, and like the Halifax area.
Yeah, I know Halifax is rich.
That's the slave route. That they came up through all the way when they came to Canada. Most of the enslaved people wound up in Halifax. Mm. They just kept going as far as they could go.
Yeah, I know people that's from Canada that has family from Halifax, and it's a very interesting story.
And you can tell they're from Halifax, Like here in Toronto, we know when we meet people from Halifax.
How?
They have sort of they have an American swag.
Okay. So
even if they're born and raised in Halifax.
Oh, for real?
We call them Scotians. They live in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's dope. We have people in the chat room saying they've been wanting to research this topic for years. I want to, I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to bounce off each other. I'll give some of my experience to people out there, y'all know mental health is my thing. I worked in mental health forever. On here in the streets of South Central LA. And I would hear about hypnotherapy, but being in the formal, they'd always try to, scur us, take us this way. Especially here in America, they're like, "Oh, hypnotherapy, cool. Take some drugs," and that's basically how it would be.
That's right.
And I just noticed over the last 10 years ago, it was like, don't even bring it up. Now I'm starting to notice people are at least considering it, as an option. How has it been, working with between what you do and the quote unquote formal medical field where they give out prescriptions and pills? Has there been any conflict that you've experienced throughout your time working with them?
I've had an interesting career. For one thing, my office is usually throughout the 24 years in a medical building. Most of the time, the doctors are not at all interested in referring business to me, especially when they hear the kind of work I'm doing. That people are getting results and it's quick. That's not in their best interest. But I have to say that there was a psychiatrist next door to me who fed me tons of business, and he was extremely supportive. And he would say to me, "Kendall, I have this patient. I'm so tired of seeing him or her, and I can't, there's been no movement, no success whatsoever. I can't do anything else. Would you please take this patient?" So he would feed me lots of patients.
Oh, that's cool.
He was really supportive. And then I also shared a clinic. I was in 2 different cities here in Toronto. And in the other office, I was with the doctor. I shared an office with the doctor. And he was very supportive. And as I told you, it was in his best interest to be, because he wanted to make sure I always paid my half of the bills. So he would send me clients as well. And, it was good that way. But again, no black folks. I had a Fijian once.
No black folks. And it's good to see, because
she's blackish.
She's blackish. See, we starting to get there. You hit on something when you said quick. What's quick? Because quick, when I was in mental health, we used to have 2 years with our clients, and then
I don't know how people have time for it. Well, it's necessary. It is necessary for certain things. You need to work certain things out. But when you get to the point where you say, "Okay, tired of talking about it. I'm tired of, dealing with this. I need quick results," that means within an hour. That means a week or 2 weeks. It depends on the person. Some, for a lot of things, I only see my clients once or twice. I should say once or twice. I do like to lock it in with a second appointment. But for the most part, yeah, it's quick.
Okay, see, in mental health, we consider quick a case that we got out in 8 months. Hey, if we got a client in and they were out in 6 to 8 months, man, we was
a rock star.
We was shit. You couldn't tell me nothing. So you talking about results within an hour or 2, max maybe 3 sessions, and this is the norm.
Yes, absolutely.
I understand why the therapists and the other people now never want to work with you, because
right.
I brought you on because in my experience, one thing that made it hard for me when I worked with the children was I would get a child that I remember. I'll give one example. I had a child that was 7 years old, and he came to us because he stabbed another kid with a pen and said, "I'm going to treat you like Chucky." And yeah, so they're like, "Oh, this kid a little bit deranged." So I go and I find out more. I find out the mom is watching scary movies with this boy every night since he's been a kid, and his favorite movie was Child's Play, the movie Chucky.
Right, it's normal.
And I'm like, okay, so let's just get the mom to stop him from watching Child's Play and actually let him watch some cartoons or whatever, and maybe
Something
this will work.
Appropriate.
Yeah, you know what they did? They said, yeah, that's cool, but I think we're gonna put him on some drugs. And they started giving 7-year-olds and 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds medicine. And I would see these kids come to school just totally drugged out, like high.
And such a simple solution to that.
Such a simple solution. That child one day is going to have certain levels of hangups. When you do your work, do you find that when you're dealing with people that come to you, when you're dealing with whatever issue they came with, is it usually connected to something in childhood for the people out there that are listening? That it's people out there that they're going through things, they don't know how to get over it. Are the current traumas generally connected to a childhood trauma, or are they separate? What are some things that you see?
It depends on what they come for. For something like cigarette smoking, I don't want to know about your childhood.
Yeah.
We're just going to knock that out, kick it out of the way. But for other things, and it's also the questions that you ask. So as you filled out the questionnaire that I sent you,
yes.
I start with that. Well, actually, it starts with the phone call.
Mm-hmm.
So I take notes with the initial phone call, then I send a questionnaire and you fill that out. And with the questionnaire, I use that to put together a custom session for you. But those questions, and they're kind of random and scrambled, and I know people look at it and think it's kind of disorganized, but it's presented that way for a reason. And then I take that information, put it together for you, and from that, when we have our actual appointment, which is Zoom, so I see people all over the world. So we're on Zoom, and then I'm able to, because I can look at someone's face and know when to push the question and where to lead it. If you remember some of the questions that I presented to you, and you were like,
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things that make you say, So I don't know. It probably comes from experience, knowing what to ask, when to ask it, when to dig deeper.
Okay.
Like we did a lot of talking.
Yeah.
You and I.
We talked a lot. Yeah, for those out there, I personally had a session with Kendall, and it was great because it's certain things you go through, and you kind of in your mind like, what the hell is this? And I'm telling y'all right now, in one session, you get right to it. You get right to it.
I'm an impatient person. I jump right in. We're going to fix this. And as far as I'm concerned, it's my reputation on the line. So I give everyone my all.
Yeah. You're right about that because when we're talking hypnotherapy, we're just basically getting down into how someone thinks, basically, or into that into their quote unquote subconscious or whatever, and just sort of kind of retooling that and getting out. Is that kind of how it works?
Well, when we're talking, I'm dealing with your conscious mind.
Okay.
Getting what you're aware of.
Okay.
And what you can offer.
Okay.
But during the session, I'm talking to your subconscious mind. Okay. While I'm putting you down, you don't even have to follow me. You can think about your shopping list. I don't care what's going on in there. I'm talking to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind always listens. It does not shut down, which is why you have to be so careful who you have around you and what you're being fed, because your subconscious is picking it up. And what you say to yourself, even your inner self-talk, huge. It absolutely matters what you even say, because you believe it.
That's very true. We were talking about that on my last broadcast. We were talking about the power, the reason for watching what we were talking about, music, and why music is so important, and how music goes directly to that subconscious, and how you're listening to everything.
And the repetition.
The repetition.
Over and over again.
Yeah, the repetition. The movement of the music just kind of has those words go right into what's always recording. Because I suggested to people that movie Inside Out. To me, that was like one of the dopest movies I've ever seen when it came to understanding how emotions in the brain works. You know?
I don't know it inside out, or do I know
Oh,
it?
you haven't seen that?
Please
watch
I've
it.
seen so many movies, so I may have seen it. And what is it about?
It's a Disney Pixar film. Came out like about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's basically talking about emotions and how they work, and it's talking about how the brain works and how the emotions are connected to signals in the brain. And they were going and dealing with, how the subconscious being down deep way in there, and they were hitting on all these themes in the movie.
How do I not know about this? Inside Out.
Don't feel bad. I didn't know about it until about a month. I've been working in mental health all this time. It's Disney. That's why I didn't know about it, because it's Disney.
Right. And my kids are grown, like very, very grown. So I don't have any grandchildren. I have a grand cat. She only watches the cat videos on YouTube. She doesn't watch Disney. So.
See, yeah, that's me. I didn't. It's been out for 5 years. I just found out about it about a month ago. And I worked. If I knew about that movie when I worked in mental health full time, I would have used it.
Really, it's that good.
It's that good because it explains it to a child, which also which when it comes to how the brain works, most adults are children as far as understanding how the brain works. All of us, that don't work in that field are children as to how the brain works. So it really lays things out and illustrates, how emotions connected to memories guide how you go about your life, basically.
Your actions, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
so
all that subconscious stuff. Yeah, wow. I'll check it out.
Yeah, that's good. So, talk about the some of the what are some of the things that you help? No, of course, no names, whatever. What are some of the issues that you've helped solve in your practice over the years?
Oh my goodness, what haven't I done? Cancer, smoking, weight loss, weight gain, all kinds of emotional, like deep-seated emotional childhood traumas, fears, all kinds of phobias, fear of flying, of clowns, believe it or not.
Clown. Hold on.
Someone actually paid me good money because they were afraid of clowns.
So that's a real. I remember the movie as a kid. I was like, look. I'll never forget when I was 5 years old, my parents took me to Vegas for the first time ever. And they surprised me. I thought we were going to Magic Mountain. We got on the train. They're like, we taking the train to Magic Mountain. I'm like, when does the train go to Magic Mountain? But I'm 5. I don't know. We go to Vegas.
Surprise.
And they surprised me. And they said, so we got to the hotel. They were like, what we saying? I looked at that big ass thing. It said Circus. And I saw that big old clown. I was so damn scared.
Where are you?
I was 5 though, so by the time I got 7 or 8, I was over that. So
oh no, there are adults that are afraid of clowns.
I'm not clowning people. Look, people out there, if you listen to me for the first time, I'm a comedian. Don't take it personal. But this is my first time hearing that there are adults that's still afraid of clowns.
Yeah, a lot. It's not like a few. There are a lot of people that are afraid of clowns, and it's probably from childhood.
Yeah, I'm not even mad. I don't even judge it.
Something like a clown, I don't ask where it comes from. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't need to know all that. We're just going to remove it.
Yeah, just remove it. And it works.
And then I do more than one thing at a time, right? So that's why I want to know, like, it's a holistic session. Now, some things I don't like to do within the same session, but a lot of things I can, you can get in a few different issues within the same session.
That's dope. So you've helped people with smoking, fear of clowns,
addiction,
drug addiction too.
Oh yeah, I get lots of calls for drug addiction.
And the crazy thing about that is when I was in working in mental health, the one time we did sort of cross sections with a hypnotherapist was a client of ours who was on drugs. They told us that in the past they basically went and got it. It was like some program out here where the schools that do it, they went to one of the student practitioners, and he was just off drugs. And he said, I saw a hypnotist and it worked. So that's what really, because again, going through the formal training, they pushed us away from that. That was the first time I said, oh, no. Something about this is real. And it opened me up to come to somebody like you to deal with certain things, you know? Mm-hmm. So for the people, this is that's really real when it comes to, you know, helping people with drugs. That's dope.
Yeah, drugs ruin entire families and lives. So to be able to work with that, now depending on what they're on, I have to act accordingly. If someone is on heroin, I'm going to titrate them down, right? Certain things you can't just stop. Mm-hmm. If it's alcoholism and it's it's a lot of alcohol that's being consumed daily, you can't just pull that off immediately. I'll titrate them down. So I'll take them to half of what they were drinking. Okay. Let them settle there for a while and then bring them down again to a quarter and then all the way off.
See, yeah.
Because I'm not looking for lawsuits. I don't want anybody.
Yeah.
I used to do hypnobirthing.
What's that?
That is when a woman she goes into self-hypnosis, which I train her to do when she goes into labor so that she can reduce or completely eliminate the labor pains. So I stopped doing that and that's how I got into hypnosis, because I was in labor and I had almost a panic attack and I thought, I cannot do this again. It was horrible the first time. I cannot take that pain. I'm going to die. I just know I'm going to die. And I got myself I was all worked up and really stressed about the whole thing. And I was living in New York at the time. I opened up the Yellow Pages, found someone that could take me right away, and he was awful. And it didn't work. And my second labor was actually worse than the first.
Wow.
So that was 1988. Mm-hmm. Then moving forward, I'm living in Canada, and I saw that teaching at the University of Toronto. And I thought, that guy was no good, but I know it's real. I knew that it was real. I had never seen it, seen a live show or anything like that, but I just knew it was real. So I thought, let me go check this out. And I did. And it was just very natural. It was a very natural fit for me.
Yeah, I can tell by the way you do it, it's a natural fit. I have a question from the chat room. Someone asked, do your patients have strong will? Do you have issues when people have very strong will?
I like them.
Is it good for everyone?
People. Those are the ones that I have to take them down hard. Yeah. Strong will means not. And it's funny. People think that strong will is actually something that prevents it. What prevents you from going under is not wanting to go under or not trusting the person who's taking you under.
Okay. So, okay.
So I'll tell you who you would think, people that you would think wouldn't be good that are actually amazing subjects. Cops, military people, professional athletes, and I do a lot of professional athletes with hypnosis. Just clarifying, with hypnosis.
Yeah.
No other way.
Hey, well then, I'm gonna need you to call somebody that knows LeBron James so you can put him under so he can make his free throws at the end of big games, because he. As great as he is, he seemed to just throw the ball out of bounds when the team needed him the most. So I'm gonna need you to somebody, if y'all know LeBron James out there, hit him up so he can get in contact with her, because we gonna need him in the clutch with the Lakers, and maybe she can help him with that.
Well, let me just tell you, I don't watch any sports, so when I do athletes, I have to go and do a little research to figure out what it is they're supposed to do, because I'm not a sports fan. So I check out what's what with it, and then I'll ask them, so what do you need to happen?
Okay.
What's your problem? What are your challenges right now? And I do it like that. And I don't know what I'm talking about. I just do it.
Another question is, this is a good question, One Punchline. Do people need faith or believe to be hypnotized?
No, I hypnotize people all the time that don't believe in it. I'll tell you a funny story. I was hanging out with a childhood. It turns out I've always thought they were my relatives. You know how we black people, everybody's your cousin, your auntie. You don't know who's who until you're grown. So it turns out he's not actually a blood cousin, but we're family nonetheless. But he told me that he didn't believe in hypnosis, and I was highly insulted.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dentist. And I said, "Oh, really? You don't?" So I said, "Lay down." And I proceeded to put him under. And within, I mean, a finger snap, it took no time. He was screaming, "I can't feel my legs. I can't feel, bring me up, bring me up." And I was just like, wow. Like, he was the fastest person I've ever put under. I wasn't even trying to put him under yet. But he must have believed it. Subconsciously, he was just being a jerk saying he didn't believe in it, because clearly by his response, he had a whole lot of belief in it.
See,
and I was like, "So do you believe now?" He says, yes. I said, "Okay. I guess I'll bring you back up now."
Question then. So I've seen hypnotists like on shows do things like people like they make them jump around on stage like a monkey or something like that. You can actually do that?
Well, I always talked a lot of crap about stage hypnotists and how they ruin our reputation, with clinical hypnotherapy. And then 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, in the summer, I did 2 stage shows. I was scared to death.
How did that go?
Is it going to work? It did. Oh, it was great. I had a guy on stage. I made the participants, I regressed them to nursery school, and they were doing Ring Around the Rosie and all kinds of stuff, being toddlers. And then one of the guys who I saw was really like, he was gone. And I said, "Uh-oh, I think you pooped your diaper." And his lip shook and fluttered. And I felt so bad. And I said, "Okay. Oh, no. It was just a little gas. It's okay. It's okay. It wasn't you."
That's funny.
I never want to hurt anybody except for my cousin, who told me he didn't believe in it. But you never want to hurt anybody or upset them. So when I saw just how upset he was, I had to pull him right back up out of it. No, it wasn't. I didn't pull him out of it, but I let him know, "No, it wasn't you. It was somebody else."
See, that's dope.
We did a roller coaster, and it was so funny because I was in the front in their minds, and we were going up, and they started going further back and further back and further back. And then we were going all through, and they threw their hands up in the air. They were like scared. It was fun. There was all kinds of stuff going on. It was fun. But I like clinical hypnosis, but that stage thing, I don't need all that stress in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not even comfortable on camera with you right now, so.
I get it. You've been a recluse most of this time. Now you, like King Simon said, you out in the public. For those,
he dragged me out.
For those of you watching and you want more information and you want to get a session, Kendall's information is in the description box. So if you go to the description box, you can find what you need to know. Only serious inquiries only. But if you need it or not. For me, my personal recommendation is it's a lot of people out there. You've gone to therapy. You've made improvements in your life. You have made steps, but you're not quite where you want to be. Personally, that's where I recommend you take a session or two or however many you need, because I'm here to tell you, I'm not here to diss one over the other. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has to do it how they feel it. But if you're feeling the need and you've taken therapy, you like, okay, it hasn't worked the way I want it, give this a try. Because it really does help people break through long-standing issues that you have. That only you have.
You haven't done any therapy.
Yeah, even if you haven't, yeah. Matter of fact, if you have it, you probably don't want to deal with no therapist or going to see no therapist every day. Just do this and get right to it.
I like to just hit it and quit it.
Yeah.
And my best referrals are people who, they get it done fast. And I don't see anyone more than, I've had some really tough cases. I deal with agoraphobics. I've dealt with people that haven't left the house in 5 years, and I've had to go to their home and do a house call. Pre-COVID, of course. People with PTSD. I see veterans, all kinds of people.
That's really
all
big.
Kinds of situations.
Yeah, that one, people not leaving the house. I know that's a strong one right there. And for you to help out,
that is rough.
Yeah,
that's a rough one. Yeah. And it was so funny because one woman in particular that I'm thinking about, I spoke about her with King Simon as well. She wanted to adopt children, and she couldn't even go overseas. No one in Canada was going to give her children with agoraphobia. She had to go to the office first. They don't do a house visit first. You have to, show up at their office.
Yeah.
And all she wanted was some children in the worst kind of way. So, it was really good. Her husband went overseas and got children for them and brought them back, but then she still couldn't take them out. She couldn't go to school with them. She couldn't do PTA mom things. She could, she wouldn't leave her house. She wouldn't even step outside of her kitchen. Her children would play in the backyard, and then she would sit inside the kitchen by the door, but she would not step foot outside. So she really had an awful situation. My heart broke for her, but it was so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time I went to her, second time she came to me. Then the third time she came to me from the movie theater after sitting in the dark with her children watching a movie.
That's dope, see?
And she had been on the psychiatrist's couch, well, I don't even think, she didn't go on the couch because she couldn't get there. But, we have telehealth here. So she was working with her psychiatrist on the phone. Still nothing.
That's dope. That's dope.
So when you can have that kind of movement, and just hit it, it's the way to go.
That's it. Douglas Taylor in the chat room has a question. How does hypnosis work with weight loss?
Oh, fabulous. Fabulous. When you fill out your questionnaire, you put in all your favorite foods that you shouldn't be eating, what you'd like to eat. People come to me sometimes and they'll say, I want to go keto, I want to follow Weight Watchers, or I want to remove carbs, or, I snack at night. So I also do insomniacs. I do everything you can imagine. Everything works with hypnosis. And it's fun. Did you find it fun?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. Jonathan Robertson in the chat room asks, are there any side effects?
Nope. No.
Yeah.
No side effects. I do stay away from bipolar patients. The medications that bipolar patients take, it's contraindicated with hypnotherapy.
Oh. So if someone's bipolar, they should really watch it?
Right.
Mostly because of those medications?
I believe it's because of the medications.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Because there are, everything ain't for everybody, but at the same time, if it is for you, I would like people to take full advantage, especially if you feel this is for you, because even if you don't, like I just look at some of the movement, that happens, and I know how therapy works, and I know, like I say, it's good or whatever, but this is different. It's different, and for the people out there,
this is like quick relief.
Yeah.
So many people are just looking for relief. They've been through hard times and they've tried lots of things, And when you try and you keep failing, then you start to believe sometimes that there is no help, but there's help.
Yeah, there is
There's
help.
definitely help.
There's definitely help because, you see it. It can be very discouraging to, for those of you out there, if you feel discouraged, and invest in your mental sanity. It really means a lot. As far as because
Oh, yeah.
along with my book that I have coming out, No Time to Waste, it's a part in that where I talk about the mental health component because I can give you a self-help guide. You can read this book. You can read that book. You can be inspired by this person, that person. But if you don't believe it internally, and if you don't have internal belief and confidence in that, whatever it is, it's just going to have a hard time working for you. So internal belief is very big, and oftentimes the things that get in the way of internal belief is just stuff that we've never dealt
Well, I'll
with.
tell you, I had a woman that was sent home to die. She had cancer and small children. She was a born-again Christian white woman who requested a late night appointment with me because she didn't want anyone in town to see her coming into my office. It's a busy medical clinic that I'm in, right?
Yes.
So she and her husband came in, and even before she came in, when she called me, she told me the whole story. So I said, I need you to find out from your doctor exactly what needs to happen in your body for you to be able to get the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And she did that. I said, I don't need it to be a whole bunch of medical jargon. I need for you to give me what you understand because you're the one who's going to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So give it to me in plain talk and come back. You'll have your appointment. And she came back that night or the next day. I think it was that night, though. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But she came in with her husband. He looked like he had just been beaten up by an 800-pound gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
He was devastated, absolutely devastated at her prognosis.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I said to her after I sent him out of the office is, you can't have him around you when you're doing this work because when you look at him, he's just pulling at your heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that man is suffering, and he's just from the look on his face, I know he can't clean that up. You're going to need to kick him out of the bedroom, let him bring your trays up. Don't open the door until he's back downstairs because you have serious work to do. You're about to save your own life. So you don't have time for him right now. You can deal with him after we get the business at hand done. And she said, okay. We did the session. I took the information that she had that was her understanding. So it wasn't very medical. And I slammed her down hard. Like hard. She went down hard. And it was amazing. She went to the doctor a few days later. Her oncologist could not believe that her blood work had changed and she could now have the procedures. I think it was like a bone marrow transplant and then the chemo or something. I really don't remember all the particulars, but I just remember that they sent her home to die. And now she was able to get, what she needed so that she could live and be there for her small children. And this man called me and cussed me up one side and down the other. There was nothing Christian about what he called me. All kinds of quacks and charlatans. I mean, he just went in on me. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm helping your wife. She's working really hard. He cursed me some more and then he hung up on me.
Did he at least call back and apologize?
He sent me the biggest bouquet of flowers that I have ever received in my whole entire life.
Okay.
And the card and yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
good.
And her oncologist never sent me a single patient ever. And this man knows what went on. Saw it for himself.
See, that's why I like having these interviews, people, because You get information by talking to the people directly. Time and time medicine for the cure.
Right. Well, now keep in mind, I'm in Canada, right? So we have socialized medicine. So doctors here don't make what they make in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So the more visits, they will make you come in for the slightest, stupidest little thing that their secretary could just tell you over the phone. They're going to make you come in for an appointment so that they can bill you. Well, not bill you, but bill OHIP, bill the system. They're not in a big rush to pass someone off to me. I remember I was in the diner that was next door to the clinic, and a cardiologist came up to me and he goes, "You're the hypnotherapist. You're in with Dr. Wiley, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." He says, "Do you know there is so much talk about you?" Now, we're right a block and a half from the hospital. He says, "There is so much talk about you. You have these doctors absolutely up at arms," because I was doing a lot of smoking cessation back then. This is when people were still smoking.
Yes.
And cigarettes are super expensive here because it's socialized medicine. So because they know that you're going to cost the medical system money down the line with your emphysema, your whatever else you have, your cancer, whatever you get from your heart problems from smoking, they know you're going to cost the system money. So the tax is very high on cigarettes, and just the cost of cigarettes is very high. So at the time I was running a commercial, and on the commercial I said, "How much do you spend on cigarettes in a year? What would you do with that money if you didn't smoke any longer? Think about it. Come see me." So the doctors were making money because the patch was out back then.
Yes, the patch. I remember that.
Yeah. So I was just creating trouble all over the place in 3 different towns here in Toronto, in the greater Toronto area, just creating havoc.
They get you on the comeback. That's what, and it was the same, like I said, mental health. It was like, the more you can bill Medi-Cal, the better it was, you know? And,
right.
And
it's
like,
all about the billing.
It's like the people, they lose perspective and sight of why we even in this thing and doing this thing, you know?
Right. Oh, care is not the first concern.
Oh,
no. Are you kidding? It's money. It's always money.
Always money.
It's always money.
It's always money. Any more? If you have any more questions in the chat room, let me know. Thank you again for y'all for joining us. Share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and like I said before,
follow me, please, at hypno_chick on Instagram. My raggedy website is still under construction. Actually, I found a great new guy, and he's going to be hooking it up. It should be up in a few days.
Okay.
You can check him out on Fiverr. His name is Bkem, B'_Kem. Really cool brother, and he said he's going to sort everything out for me.
See, that's dope. And for those
black,
and he's black, yes. And and for those of you, if you didn't hear that, or all of her information is in the description box. So if you listen to the replay, and for those of you who are going to hear the replay on YouTube, in the description box is where you can find her information, because you know this is very important. There is no moving forward as a people without strong individuals. There's no moving forward as an individual without a strong sense of self, and without a goal to move forward and the confidence to push forward through that goal. So if you don't have the confidence in what you're doing, sometimes you may be out there thinking, okay, I don't really have nothing going wrong with me. I'm fine. I don't have any major issues, but it may be something going on that you know you want to do, but for some reason you ain't doing it. Another reason why to have hypnotherapy, because if it's something you know you want to do and you're not doing it, it's probably something conscious holding you back. That's down in there.
That's where the procrastination comes in. I see a lot of people for procrastination, for self-confidence. figuring out their path, all kinds of things. Oh, I mean, so many insomnia, so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all in that questionnaire.
It's
So
all
if
in
they
that
contact
questionnaire.
me, feel free, contact me. Take a look at the questionnaire. Call me. I am very accessible in between sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So more than likely you'll get my voicemail, but I will call you back.
And
And
she will
right
call
now
back.
I don't have an assistant anymore. And I'm doing the best I can getting back to everyone. Lots and lots of new clients from King Simon. Yay! Thank you, King
That's
Simon.
dope. That's dope.
Working with my people.
That's dope.
And that's not to say that I don't love my Caucasian clients. I've given nothing but love to all of my clients. But I'm just saying now it's so good to see my people coming in, and it feels so good for me.
Yeah. And part of the reason I wanted to have you on, because understanding how the mind works, it's a little easier when you deal with someone who understands culturally some of the things. They can understand the context of things that aren't being said. They can pick it up.
Right. And that's what the feedback that I've been getting. And people have been saying, I've been thinking about hypnotherapy, but I really wanted to deal with someone Black because they'll get me. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Cultural differences can make a big difference.
It makes a big difference.
I think you even said that.
I said that because my first go around in mental health, my first go around when I had a therapist, she was a white therapist and she was cool. She was great. I wasn't tripping. But when that Eric Gardner situation happened in New York and dude got choked out, that was literally the last time I seen any of these police murder videos. I don't watch that stuff anymore because that one right there, triggered me. And I went to my therapist, and it seemed I spent most of the session giving her therapy because she's like, what do you mean? This before it got to where it got now. She's like, half the session was, you mean the police just choked him and for what? For selling cigarettes? She's like, what? And I'm like, I'm coming to you because that traumatized me. And so I had to end up going to a different therapist later on, and she was Black, and she got me. And I was like, and I would notice doing all of my work with the children, I spoke best. I could work with anybody, but I communicated best with Black teens, and that it was just an understanding. And so I through personal experience, I understood the need to get someone who looked like me to work through some of the issues, because you cut out a lot of crap. You really do.
Well, I'm an expert at code switching when I have to. And I can make anyone feel comfortable. I really can. So
yeah, Kay Green says, I think she has a kind heart in the chat room. Yes, she does. That's what someone in the chat room.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, for the people out there, is you my final question I want to make is, you work through Zoom. For the people out there who think, what's the difference between working with someone, or have you noticed a difference in results from working with someone in your office and working with them remotely? Is there any difference?
Not at all. Not at all. And I was doing this way before COVID, because I've had clients that flew in from Europe, and then, for their first session, and then I did their follow-up on Skype, and it was great. And then I realized, what? I think I can do this. Like, I don't see a difference. Mm-hmm. And it was very successful. So as long as you speak English, because I'm a typical American, I only have one language. If you speak English, we can do this.
Okay. And one person asked, I know the answer, but I want you to answer for the chat room. Do you accept insurance?
You are in a whole other country. Your insurance would never pay me.
Never. I just wanted that was asked in the chat room. So yes, for those
but my rates
listening,
are so reasonable. It's okay.
You have to pay cash, but let me tell you something.
No, you don't have to pay cash. You can pay credit.
Oh yeah, that works too.
I take credit cards.
Let me tell y'all something. It's worth it, because the hang-ups that people have, how much is it costing you week by week, day by day, when you add up some of the things that you want to get over and hangups you have?
How much does it cost financially? How much does it cost emotionally? How much is it costing your family and the people you love?
Mm-hmm. So call her, get in, get over it. I want to thank you.
When you leave your voicemail, please do leave your email address so that I can contact you by that. But I have a 1-800 number, so you don't have to worry about long distance charges to Canada.
Oh yeah, she has a.
But I have tons of clients in LA.
Oh, that's dope.
I used to fly into LA and see a bunch of people. I've got some celebrity clients there.
That's
Can't say who.
Okay, of course, confidentiality. Shawnee, her information is in the description. If you go into the description box, you will see all of her contact information.
I don't mind saying it.
So say it one more time.
Okay, it's 1-800-503-1993 is my phone number. The extension is 104. I want to take that extension off. It's not like there's anybody else for you to speak to. I don't need an extension. What else? Oh, on Instagram, please follow me. I'm kind of new to social media because I hate it, but I see I have to do it. So I'm trying to put it together and not look so unpopular because I haven't been doing it for very long. But my Instagram is Hypno, HYP like Paul, NO _chick, CHICK. So that's my Instagram. And what else? Oh, my email address is Kendall, KENDELL @hypnosiswithkendall.com.
See.
So it's not the ALL Kendall, it's the ELL, like Wendell Kendall.
Old head Deuce in the chat room. No, you cannot take a date to her session and have her do something to your date. Stop, old head Deuce. No dates. You're not gonna have her making your date jump around like a monkey, okay?
Or strip or anything else.
So I want to thank you again. We have here at Hotepish, we have these discussions because it's all about saving ourselves before you save anyone else. You got to save yourself. You got to take care of yourself. And
that's right. Put that oxygen mask on.
Yeah, and
save yourself.
So hopefully you're taking heed to that, and I like to bring them. And when it comes to saving yourself, there's no one way of anything. It's different approaches. I work with King Simon, and I've worked with her, and I've worked with more people that you'll see come. And because it takes a little bit all to make sure that we humans, man, we complicated. There's a lot of things out there that we don't know, and we got to go to the experts. You don't have time to study everything for yourself, so you got to go to the experts that have the resources to help you get your best game on as a person.
I didn't even believe in numerology until King Simon. He's no joke. He knows his numbers.
He knows his numbers. Like, what do you mean I'm an 8? What the hell does an 8 and a 7 got to do? That was the shit. 8 plus 7 is 15. But yeah, he knew what he was doing.
He knows his stuff.
So yeah, I think.
Well, the other thing that I have people come to me for is switching over to veganism. That's a big thing now. They don't talk about it, but I think the largest population going towards veganism is us.
It's a huge. I remember my big ass even did a raw vegan diet for the whole month of August. Just to experience it.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah.
But you said it was good.
That makes sense. And it worked.
Yeah, I do a lot of work with diabetics because diabetics, when you get diagnosed, and then there are people that have had it all their lives and they still have a hard time sticking to what they have to do. So a lot of diabetics will come to me because they still love their sugar, their carbs. They're not exercising. They're not checking their blood levels regularly. So I do see a lot of diabetics.
Okay.
Or as my grandmother would say, diabeticals. The sugar bad.
One last question from the chat room, and I know you don't like to she's not gonna get too technical. She's in a different country, but they want to know any advice you want to give to somebody who wants to get in the career of hypnotherapy. Any advice?
Do it. It is the best career ever. Every day is an adventure. You learn so much every single day. I love it. I found my niche. I love this career. I wouldn't do anything else at this point. I love it. Well, never say never, but I don't think so. I love what I do. Yeah, I encourage us. I was the first Black hypnotherapist in Canada.
That's dope.
Yeah,
first one. And guaranteed the best hypnotherapist of any race. Guaranteed.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because you know what you're doing. I appreciate it. So
I'm black blushing.
Black blushing. So I want to thank you again for those. Share the video, like the video, send it out to people you know that maybe on the fence, want to know more. Share this so they can get introduced to hypnotherapy, and then share the contact information so they can call her and get whatever it is in their mind they hung up on done, finished, finito, done, over.
And your business stays with me. Nobody knows your business when I'm done.
Nobody.
I am completely discreet.
Completely. So you don't have to worry about that either, all right? Because at the end of the day, her professional reputation is on the line. She tells one person's story that can mess up everything else she has. So I guarantee you, your little ass problem ain't enough for her to destroy the future of her career, all right?
To lose my career.
I promise you it ain't enough. So don't worry about somebody saying, well, what you gonna say about me? Don't worry about that, all right?
And it's really hard for someone to come up with something that's so outrageous that I would even raise an eyebrow. See? You've got to come long and strong with that.
See, that's it. Again, so I want to stay on with me, but I'm about to sign off for everyone on YouTube. For everyone on YouTube, remember this. There are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to listen to the information. Remember that. Remember that all of Kendall's information is in the description box to get to what she needs. My webinar, No Time to Waste, May 2nd, Sunday, May 2nd. Sign up for that right now. You will get my book for free if you sign up for the webinar. And you know to get my t-shirts at hotepish.com/apparel. And then
I'm ordering that t-shirt.
Get on that.
Is so hot.
And for those my music shows, Incense and Ashtrays, I put some episodes up here on YouTube, but the primary place to see that is on Spotify or to listen. I got an interview with Bobby Rush, legendary blues guitarist. Oh. And my most recent interview with J-Mo. Y'all heard go back and listen to that interview where he talks about playing the guitar with Prince, writing hits for Jill Scott, Anthony Hamilton, Anderson .Paak, Jasmine Sullivan, and all the people he wrote hits for. Go back and check that interview, Incense and Ashtrays, out. So remember that. My name is Dwann B. We out.